Hi, I'm Josh.
And I'm Allison.
And this is the Camera Project.
Today we're at Great Falls National Historical Park in Paterson, New Jersey. And behind us is the Great Falls, which drops 2 million gallons of water a day down a 77-foot falls into a 260-foot wide basalt rock chasm.
That's a lot of numbers, Allison.
Noma facts.
We're reviewing the Sony a7R III, the 42 megapixel camera from Sony with the backside illuminated full frame sensor.
Let's start right off with the form factor. This one is not too different from its predecessor, the Sony a7R II. It's got a very solid grip, which is comfortable to hold. It's got the articulating screen, which is kind of just partially articulating. It kind of tilts out, up and down. It does not flip out or over entirely. So it's great for, shooting low and shooting high, but not great for selfies or vlogging or shooting in a portrait orientation. While it does kind of flip out in the typical half useful Sony fashion, such is the touchscreen, only half useful, where you can use it to adjust your focus point, but you can't use it to navigate the menus, which is a little bit strange.
And you can't use it to move your focus point and instantly shoot like you can on Olympuses and Panasonics either,
Right.
Which is kind of annoying. The one thing you can do is if your eye is to the viewfinder, you could use it as a touchpad, which is nice. Now there is another way that we now have to adjust the focus point as well.
The joystick. So there's a little joystick here which you can use to toggle, move your focus point around if you're using single point focusing, and also to navigate through your menus.
Yeah, I found the joystick, unlike some other cameras I've used, isn't as tactile, and it's kind of actually hard to move your focus point that way, especially in gloves, and I found myself using the touchscreen over the new joystick.
Also here we have a battery slot, obviously, and this Sony, I will say, has much improved battery life from the previous a7R II. So it's using an updated model of battery which lasted much longer when shooting.
It started with the A9 and they carried it over to the a7R III, and now the a7 III actually has the same battery as well.
The camera has a dual SD card slot, which can be used in a number of implementations.
Yeah,
but
unfortunately, one of them, card 1, is UHS 2, while card 2 is UHS 1. So it kind of does slow down your workflow. If you are doing a full redundant backup, it will sort of be the choking point of the speed of the camera.
it's also a little counterintuitive in that slot 1, your primary slot, is the bottom one, which I found kind of tripped me up at least once. There are 4 custom function buttons which can be programmed as the user likes. Also to note about this camera, it has 5-axis image stabilization within the body, which would be improved even further with a lens that offers image stabilization.
So today we're going to be shooting around the park and seeing what we could capture of the falls. Okay, so now I'm going to do some tests on the image stabilization. Now it's really bright out here and I don't have any NDs big enough for this lens, so I can't push it too far without overexposing. We may get some overexposed shots, but it is what it is. We'll probably still be able to see if it's stable. Let's see what we got. I have the 24-70 on here, which is also a stabilized lens, which will obviously improve our performance. So talking about autofocus on the a7R III, it's got 399 points of phase detect autofocus, but it's a hybrid system that uses 425 point contrast detect points as well.
Yeah, I think the autofocus on this camera is definitely one of the huge selling points that makes it outstanding. And in addition to the just great all-around autofocus, it features really excellent face detection and beyond that, eye detection. So it can very specifically zone in on a subject's eyes to get you that really crisp focus that you're looking for, especially on a moving subject, to really help you with your, in Josh's case, especially with street photography, moving subjects and stuff.
Right, yeah, I found even in extremely low light, it would just snap right onto people's faces. And I was so surprised they would come out of a blind corner or something and it would instantly be on their face, which was really impressive.
And maybe a little creepy.
Very creepy. Now, in terms of image quality, the a7R and the a7R II already had outstanding image quality, but this camera has the 42 megapixel sensor, and yeah, that's the same as the a7R II, but it's been tweaked to give 15 stops of dynamic range in this camera, which is fantastic. Now, when you talk about low light performance, people typically think that a high megapixel gives you poor image quality in low light, And while that can be true, I find that the images from this camera, even in high ISOs, are fantastic because the image is so large that that grain is so tiny. When you're looking at it scaled to your screen or scaled to a print, the grain is so small you could hardly notice it. So I found low light performance was fantastic even at 12,800, 25,600 is probably usable for a lot of cases. Again, fantastic.
And now for some more unrelated, unwelcome location facts. So the Great Falls of the Passaic River are one of the most powerful waterfalls in the United States, actually. And they're kind of unique because they're basically in the center of the town of Paterson, New Jersey. And that is because the town was kind of founded around the waterfall. It was founded by Alexander Hamilton in 1792. And the idea there was that the waterfall could be used for industry and innovation. So Paterson was one of the first kind of planned cities in the United States, with the goal being to build up industry around it, textiles, milling, and the waterfall also eventually providing hydroelectricity. Now Josh is going to tell us a little bit more about video performance.
Yeah, so the video in this camera is really quite capable. It can do 4K at up to 30 frames per second, and it'll do 1080 at up to 120 frames per second with full audio. That kid loves it. The other impressive thing about the video is that it features S-Log2, S-Log3, and hybrid log gamma are all on this camera to, in theory, improve your dynamic range. You can also use the video image stabilization to smooth out the shot. Now, it's not going to live up to, say, a GH5 as image stabilization or a Olympus EM1 Mark II, but it's still pretty capable, and certainly to, remove the shake from a handheld shot. I would walk with it, but it's very good.
Yeah, when I think of Sony cameras, I feel pretty confident in their video capabilities. So if you're looking for a camera that does double duty, I think Sony is a really great choice if you're looking to shoot full frame.
So that concludes our time in the Great Falls National Historical Park in Paterson, New Jersey with the Sony a7R III. Allison, what were your thoughts on the camera?
I like this camera a lot. I feel like my thoughts on the Sony a7R III are going to echo my thoughts on most of the Sony cameras we've reviewed so far. I think they're excellent cameras. They take great photos, awesome video quality. It's amazing shooting with full frame. You just get such an excellent depth of field and beautiful kind of soft bokeh when you're shooting great lenses that are wide open. It's an excellent system for someone who is willing and able to spend the money and really going to get the most out of everything it has to provide. And what do you think, Josh?
Yeah, I mean, I'd agree with everything you said. You have to be willing to get into the system, and the lenses are going to come with it, but of course that's the same with any full frame system. I would say some of the ergonomic issues we've complained about in the past have been fixed. It has the better battery life. It has a touch screen, finally, but unfortunately it's hampered by their software, which they could certainly change and make it more usable. I really love shooting with the camera. I found the autofocus was outstanding, and that was actually my ultimate selling point on this camera, in addition to the image quality, of course. But overall, it's a great camera, and I love shooting with it.
Yeah, I think Josh and I both kind of Micro Four Thirds users. If I were to switch to full frame, I think it would kind of be a no-brainer to go with Sony. But until I think it's really going to be a worthy investment to spend that money and shoot very frequently, that's my kind of, biggest hurdle getting over, I think. We want to thank you guys so much for watching this video and subscribing to our channel, which you've obviously done by now. And if you want to get a great camera project exclusive deal, you can go to uniquephoto.com and you can rent this Sony or any other Sony camera and get 10% off with the code Project10.
Yeah, thank you so much to Unique Photo for lending us this camera, and please subscribe.
You better subscribe. If you use that code and you haven't subscribed,
we're gonna know.
I'm gonna find you.
She will.
Yeah.
She's very dangerous.
I use cyber police,
yes.
cyber policing techniques.
Did you click?
Google searching.
I said
click.
click.
Reverse hashtag.
Click.
Phone number search.
Click.